Go.
Streaming from South Africa to the world. This is the Stonks Go Moon Podcast. What just happened? We break it down so you don't have to.
Welcome everyone to the Stonks Go Moon Podcast. AI got centralized. Crypto promised the opposite. What happens when you mash them together? My guest helped launch Gaia, a decentralized AI network with 700k active nodes and trillions of inferences. And they're unveiling a Samsung Galaxy-based AI phone at Korean Blockchain Week. He's also a former chief investment officer who ran thematic strategies, so he speaks both founder and fund. Ladies and gentlemen, Shashank Sripada, welcome to the pod.
Good to meet you, Rocco. Good to be here.
I'm not going to get you into the whole New York, San Francisco tech argument. We don't want to upset people from the
get-go. We love every city.
You love it. You love New York. Talk to me about Gaia. What exactly is it? What are you aiming to do? And most important for me, like, where did this sort of idea come about?
Yeah, well, Gaia, firstly, is open source developer framework. Originally, it's literally 3 lines of code, helps you set up your agent node. The secret sauce there is our WASM Edge runtime, which is essentially a virtual machine. You can plug in any open source LLM, and it'll fine-tune to any hardware you're running underneath.
What would that be, like DeepSeek or something? What would that be?
You can use DeepSeek. You can use Llama 3 or Llama. Any open source model, and it fine tunes to any hardware. So you can run it off your 8 gigabyte CPU all the way up to NVIDIA or BitTensor or AWS or more upcoming like a phone. It just showed we can run it off any kind of journey you choose. The data is stored on-prem, and you choose who accesses it, and the kind of UI, UX you choose. And then Web3 comes into play for the inferencing. If you want to share, monetize your agents, you can do that via our inference network. So Gaia, from the Web3 sense, is an inference network, and we do that through a domain node architecture. So we're essentially providing an API endpoint to your agent, and you're able to share it via your Chrome browser. And we have a domain node architecture so that, for example, University of Berkeley runs their own domain. That's essentially a TCP IP router, routes your traffic to the mix of nodes underneath it. So all their professors are running nodes. And if you have a chemistry question, it gets routed to the chemistry professor's agent node. And any additional compute is bolstered internal, external to that domain. And then lastly, on another crypto sense, you can stake your tokens at both the domain and node level to earn yield, staking rewards for maintaining and validating both domains and nodes. So that's kind of the whole architecture ecosystem. How did we come up with it? A bit unorthodox. My background for the last few years, I've exited a few companies, but I was running a fund. I was a founding partner at called Next Wave Partners. It's a corporate-backed thematic venture fund. So we have a couple $100 million under management from Chipotle for food and agriculture. We have a space fund. We have a GE energy-backed logistics supply chain fund. So we were doing a Web3 AI fund. My co-founder Matt got me into Web3.
So he blue-pilled you basically.
Well, I was early crypto. I was 2014 and 2017, 18, but I needed a break from the ICO days, so I hadn't touched it in a while beyond my crypto holdings. And he did red pilled me back in, but we were excited. It was like Web3 AI fund. It was future work focused. And SIG Capital, Susquehanna, $190 billion hedge fund with basically the team that first in seed invested in ByteDance. They LP'd us the fund originally, and then they turned around and said, "Hey, actually, do you guys want to found a company with us?" So they had kind of funded a lot of the research at Berkeley, at a few other universities, and they had a few portcos in that same kind of technical neighborhood. And so we got it, looked under the hood, merged a lot of the tech and portcos in to form the tech stack that became Gaia. We were excited. It was open source and it's Web3 enabled, and we believed that strongly in there being a need for a open source, decentralized alternative to the centralized AI models that were kind of going unchallenged for the last few years.
So was it basically buddies of your, was it like a classroom project or sort of so not a classroom, sort of who did you start the company with? Was it people that you knew? Like what?
Yeah, yeah. My co-founder Matt, he's I've known him for a few years now. I was
Yeah.
advising his EVM focused fund originally,
Okay,
and
but how do you meet him?
yeah, just I think I'm on a boat in LA or
Yeah, you
something.
see, that's what I want to
Some
get
kind
to
of
because,
crypto
like,
party.
that to me, that's the interesting part because yeah, I'm doing this and this. Okay, cool. So how
Yeah,
did you meet Matt on a boat, dude? I need to
yeah.
buy a boat. I need
I
to
did.
buy
I don't
a
know what a boat.
boat. Do you have a
You should
boat?
just rent it. I don't have a boat. We were on someone else's rented boat, and
Hey, I
but
love
we got
boats.
talking. He was just cool to begin with, and then I
Yeah.
started. He was like from the develop. He comes from the more of the developer side.
Uh-huh.
Ran DevRel across over 600 hackathons in his day. Worked at JP Morgan Quorum and then ConsenSys. So kind of the most institutional you could get with the Web3 side, right? And then
Yeah.
very developer focused. So it was a good mix. And then our third co-founder, Sydney Lai, she was DevRel at ConsenSys, DevRel at Mantle and Polygon and a few other places. So not once again, our project's fully developer focused at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we get to our node numbers and all the traction we've gotten to date. So they were excellent. And then the other half of the co-founding team is from the SIG Capital's Web3 arm, ByteTrade. So
Jeez.
some of the ByteTrade SAR. So they, bring some
Fuck me.
institutional expertise mixed with business expertise, sector expertise. It's an unorthodox team, I will say that.
Yeah, yeah. So you mentioned Berkeley. Who else is using it?
Yeah, we've ran pilots with like NASA, Qualcomm, Fitch Ratings. We had LA Fashion Week, and just bringing on a few more others
Uh-huh.
across industry verticals, from like music and film IP rights all the way to finance and
Oh,
like kind of space, as I mentioned. So it's a sector wide sector agnostic
yes.
use cases. But then of course Web3 is still our bread and butter. We have over 180 pilots from BitGo, MoonPay, ConsenSys, MetaMask. They're all our investors now too, and we are strongly impacting the DeepIn providers,
Uh-huh.
DeepInX, IONET, Filecoin, many others. We're giving them customers because we make it so easy for people to create agent nodes, and they all need compute. So we're finally delivering customers to these DeepIn projects. And then other Web3 kind of players include like EigenLayer. We're launching an AVS with them. Once again, we hope to be one of the largest AVS operators on Eigen, because once again, we have customers. So mishmashing the Web
Yes.
2, Web 3 kind of enterprise landscape by making it super, honestly, just super easy for developers to deploy agents. That's been kind of our secret sauce of success so far. But we're
Okay,
only a
cool.
year in. So
Yeah, it's only
got
yeah,
long way to go.
early days, very early
Yeah.
days. Talk to me about this limited edition AI native phone. Is it just a phone with an
Yeah.
app, or what are we talking about?
Yeah, so yeah, we had the opportunity through our Korean context to do a special edition kind of AI Gaia phone
Hmm.
built on Samsung hardware. Samsung Galaxy Edge is the
That's
phone.
cool.
So it's we're aiming to be a Web3 phone with that's decentralized AI on-prem, but it's a flagship phone. It's quite unique. It's not like an OEM white label solution like other Web3 phones that might have come out.
Yeah.
We're focused on being your primary phone, or at least a phone that you actually don't mind using day to day, because it's a flagship phone. But yeah, the point of it is it's a really great case study to showcase how lightweight our decentralized nodes can be. You can think of it as kind of Apple Intelligence done right, done on prem in a more secure manner. We're not trying to go against Apple,
Oh,
but
the Apple.
that's definitely not our focus. But it's just it's an alternative manner for people to witness and hold what a decentralized agent node means. And a decentralized agent basically means nothing different than a centralized agent. You do not have to convince yourself that you have to give up your data to OpenAI or Apple or whoever else that may be.
Let's talk about
Yeah.
that. Why is that a problem? Why is Sam Altman a evil James Bond villain? No, a James Bond villain that will use my data for bad, and thus we have to go decentralized. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Look, I won't comment on Sam Altman specifically, but OpenAI, I will want to say we're grateful to them as humans for kicking off the generative learning race, but all we're saying is that's not the only path that needs to exist, right? I see OpenAI not necessarily in an evil sense. It's more of it's just in a closed source sense. It's like, in my mind, it's Yahoo.com in 1997. It does sports, finance, entertainment, news, everything you want. But that doesn't mean the rest of the internet doesn't need to develop. It doesn't mean that BBC.com or ESPN.com don't need to develop. So we see this as one AI amongst the billion others that are going to come out. Just like the website and the app before it, we think agents are the next point of interaction for humanity, whether that's commerce, social media, or any other interactions. And so in order to power those agents, you need a decentralized economy, for it to make economical viability, but also for it to be, censorship resistant, and useful for all of humanity, regardless of who's making those agents. So we're here to be the last mover in building the infrastructure that makes others able to deploy agents at scale in an open source, economically viable manner.
Yeah, it really feels like AI is kicking off that whole walled garden battle. I see Elon is also on OpenAI's case, saying they've got basically this monopolization of the market.
Yeah, look, they've had to
really
reverse.
Interesting.
They just open sourced one of their models finally. The story is being written for us, whether we like it or not. Yes. You can't hold all of humanity's knowledge and expect everyone to contribute to that knowledge, right? So a lot of our clients are enterprises, governments, institutions, individuals who know the value of their data. The majority of humanity's proprietary knowledge is still sitting this generative AI revolution out. That knowledge is still under lock and key. So our thesis was, how do you unlock it? You need open source, and you need Web3. You need to ensure to the proprietary knowledge holders that there is no monopolist sitting between them and their end consumer. And that means, ensuring that they communicate with each other, and that attribution, validation, and monetization is, untouchable.
I like that. It's funny, Sam Altman said today, OpenAI would be really profitable if they didn't need to pay for training data.
Well, of course.
That's very funny.
So would anyone, right? But that's
very funny.
That you can train it with the crowd, right? The internet didn't pay everyone to, feed it websites. People naturally went and created websites. They linked to each other. They hyperlinked. They shared knowledge. We think that's the model for the agentic internet that's developing as well. And our model, it works well. Our second biggest market is Korea, followed by Japan, and a lot of other any economy that's cannot afford an NVIDIA chip, really.
Yes.
So the model here is, look, you don't need an NVIDIA chip to power your homework. To answer your questions for your homework. That's what we're seeing here. We have pilots in Africa with in villages with on-prem hardware running Gaia nodes that are teaching kids provide full university education in the village. Now, if you were to tell them you need cloud internet to go up to an NVIDIA chip, it's like using a jet engine to go around the block, right? It's just too much overkill. And not even enterprises in Korea and Japan, large enterprises, can afford that or even get their hands on those chips, right? So even Apple does not have enough GPUs to compete, right? So that just goes to show you it's you don't need all that. We're trying to break it down into what you actually need to effectively compete in the AI race without having to go, full stop.
Would you say that's your moat at the moment? That's sort of the next best thing.
Yeah, look, our moat right now is the runtime, the open source nature of our Wasm Edge infrastructure means that any developer can build. They want to build. It's familiar to them, and our cost of customer acquisition has been low as a result. And the quicker we move, it's a classic Red Hat model: is deploy fast, deploy often. There could be a multi-billion-dollar project that builds trying to compete, but by that point, there have been a million people using it, breaking it, fixing it, and
I hear you.
contributing to it, and we've
I
already hit
hear
that
you.
status. So
What's shipping next for you guys? What are you thinking about? Where do you want it to go?
yeah, look, the world is our oyster. We're going to continue
Yes.
developing, some of our hardware tech, as with the Samsung phone
Phone, yeah.
that we mentioned. But we're also, going to be releasing our products, our software products, which are our key. I mentioned the AVS with EigenLayer. That's key to our
Wow.
incentive mechanism to maintain and validate and introduce rewards. We're also releasing our MCP registry later in the summer. It's going to allow L1s and L2s to stake their chains and tokens and launch AgentFi. Essentially, we
Mm,
know that we had agent meme coins back in last winter,
mm.
but this is a way to actually create businesses with agents, with Web3 validating and leading the way. So we think we're going to power that boom. Besides that, we have a whole host of other products and JVs planned. Trying to do account abstraction with MoonPay. We believe that there are going to be more agents than humans in the next 2 years. Those agents need banking, wallets, KYC, AML, legal. So we're working with a whole host of firms to create the JVs and products that power
So
that agent.
what like an agent like a person? An agent is a person. If
Yeah,
and they will need all the services that a normal person would have.
100%. Like so, and we see this once again. It's not in an effort to
Okay.
replace jobs. We actually
Yeah, yeah,
think
yeah.
the reversal that this is going to lead to the reversion to the mean of historically of humanity, which is everyone would be an entrepreneur essentially. They ever back before information technology, everyone had their local cobbler, everyone had their blacksmith, everyone had local craftsmen that they trusted and paid. That got deviated with the rise of big tech and big corporations. That's because that's the most efficient way to manage scale.
Mm-hmm.
But as technology, as communication improved even further, from just-in-time manufacturing with internet to
Mm-hmm.
made in designed in Cupertino and manufactured in China with Apple. We see this as the next step with true efficient communication and interaction and the rise of agents. These agents can manage processes that it would normally take hundreds or thousands of employees in a corporation to do. So you can effectively manage a small, medium business that can reach the scale of a large company. So I'm putting out the request for everyone who's interested. You could create for example, a financial advisory business with just yourself, and your agents can go learn about finance. They could read every financial textbook there is. They could create sub agents that follow crypto, equities, bonds, forex, and then they could go create effective portfolios, and people could subscribe to you, right? And they could pay you to do that. I would probably trust my friends and family's agent, who I know and trust, over like Charles Schwab or some other financial institution. So we see this as being the next big kind of push for SME freelancer IP businesses. So I don't think it's a loss of asset of wealth. It's another tool to enable small medium entrepreneurs.
Man, what an interesting and brave new world we are venturing into. Shashank, thank you so much for joining me today and Thank you for allowing me to learn more about Gaia. And if the people want to go and connect with you and get involved with agents and decentralized AI, or even just learn more, where can they connect with you?
Yeah, of course. Go to our website, gaianet.ai. We have plenty of open source docs, full documentation. Go try us out. Deploy an agent, figure out what it means, and follow us on social media. We'll be running a lot of hackathons, launching accelerators, venture funds. We want to support those who build on Gaia, and we want to support entrepreneurs in general who want to mess around with the agentic economy. So follow us for more details.
I love it. This is the age of the generalist. We are making a comeback.
Exactly.
Shashank, thank you so much for joining me today. And
thank you, Rocco.
To the listeners, peace, love, and prosperity. We'll catch you next time. Cheers.
You want a piece of me? I'm a whole damn cake. You think you're so sweet, you're just a mistake.